Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Jesse. You're watching JL's Comics, and thanks for pressing play. Today we're talking about Black Panther 2018, latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and oh my god, this movie was just freaking awesome. I saw it a little bit early. There was an early screening today that happened in a couple areas around the country. I think about 10 IMAX screens were showing it today, which is Monday. It does come out later in the week on the 16th. Today's the 12th. And let me tell you, the energy in that theater was palpable. People were just so excited to see this. And it's been a long time, I'll tell you, since I was in a theater with a group of folks who were laughing and clapping and cheering. It was just super cool. It was not... You couldn't help but get involved in it. So anyways, let's talk about the movie. This is spoiler free, so don't fear. I'm not going to ruin anything for you. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about this movie is life. This movie takes place in Wakanda right after the events of Civil War, Avengers Civil War. It picks up, there was the bomb attack that killed T'Challa, Black Panther's father. It picks up like right after that. But what this movie has to do, because we really haven't seen anything like this until now, is build up the world of Wakanda. And let me tell you, Wakanda is just what you would want Africa to be. Beautiful and lush and vibrant and just full of technology and full of so much, progressiveness. And it's the colors that just make everything just come to life, from the costumes to the city to even just when they're out there in the water and they're fighting or they're around. The movie is just so bright and vivid. I love that aspect of it. I'm a very visual person, so that just jumped out at me as a huge plus. A lot of times with a movie, there'll be a couple characters who kind of stand out in terms of their performance. And that's the case here. There definitely was. We had, a couple characters that did. But I have to tell you that all through the layers of the cast, every character had depth. They had story. You could care about them. Most of them had some development throughout the story. A couple of the standouts were, of course, Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa / Black Panther. But the one that really stood out for me was Letitia Wright's Shuri. I was telling some of my friends, I want Shuri to be in every single MCU movie going forward. I liked her that much. But the Dora Milaje were amazing. They fight as this one cohesive unit. It's almost like they're one entity when they fight. It is just super cool. They're really dominant. They're able to go out there in the world outside of Wakanda, all of these characters really, and just sort of blend in. They can blend in, but when they need to stand out, they can stand out, let me tell you. The action scenes in here were really well done, nicely shot. I love the way Black Panther fights, and just we got really good scenes with him, and there's a really amazing car chase scene that I really enjoyed. And again, even when they're outside of Wakanda, just the way this was shot, Ryan Coogler's style, it was just very crisp and vibrant and bright. And that was great, even when it's dark out. They're in the city and they have the LED lights coming down and stuff, so it was still plenty of light for them. So that was really cool. And now on to the villain. Eric Killmonger is the main villain for this. And I have to say, without any hyperbole, he has got to be the best, one of the best, I will say the best Marvel villain to date. He has nuanced and layered, and you actually care for him and feel sorry for him. And that's hard to come by with a very often two-dimensional character with not much motivation there, not much development in terms of their personal story. The focus is always on the heroes. But here you have a really good balance of them. The main story, the plot, revolves around a moral dilemma, a moral crisis that Wakanda has with all this power and technology that they've developed. do they share it with the world, or do they keep it from themselves? And that's where the two sides come into play here. Some folks agree, some don't. I won't tell you who's on whose side, but that's kind of what the plot revolves around here. A lot of fun with this movie. I really, it was just over 2 hours. I think it was about 2 hours and 10, 15 minutes, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wanted more. That's really telling. 2-hour movie, and I wanted to see more of this. There are 2 credits, after credit scenes, by the way, so if you are, like me, Marvel fan, comic book fan, you gotta stay and check those out. They're cool. And I laughed. This movie was a good amount of humor in it. There were some really funny scenes with M'Baku, with a couple of the other villains in the movie, and they just were funny, but it was appropriate for their character. It just, especially with one particular character, it really brought out the idea that he's just crazy. And it fit for him. It didn't feel attached. It didn't feel added on. It didn't feel like it was thrown in uncomfortably, kind of stuck in the middle of a scene. It wasn't like, oh, this needs to be more funny. Let's do some reshoots and add this in. No. So it was really good. It flowed nicely, and it worked. It made me laugh out loud, which I don't often do in the movies. So overall, I had a really great time with this movie. I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10. You guys got to see this movie. They explained at the beginning that you do need... Well, there are plenty of scenes in here, like some wide shots where you get to see Wakanda, and it's just an amazingly spread out, you know, cityscape with the backdrop of some beautiful African mountains. And they said that for some of those scenes, to get the full shot, you have to see it in IMAX. I'm so happy I saw it in IMAX. I recommend it to you in IMAX. There is a 3D conversion. I don't think that would be necessary, but if you can see it in IMAX, I do recommend it. So that's it. Once you guys get to see this, definitely let me know down below your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what you thought of the movie. Definitely interested to hear all about that. But this is Jesse here. This has been a Black Panther movie review.